Hello there, people. My name is Sho, and welcome to an episode of Game Things. The biggest happening event this month in the gaming world would be the Tokyo Game Show TGS 2024 that started from 26th of September and lasted until September 29th. A lot of them are trailers for the upcoming games, and I will just run through those that I find interesting alongside our weekly news to give you an idea about the games that are coming out in a couple of months down the timeline. First up on the list, we have a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is a series that I have never played growing up, and the only time I got to try out Metal Gear Solid is when I was invited to play by a hostile friend of mine when I was studying at college. Looking at this new entry, I'm looking forward to it as I personally do enjoy the Hitman type of gameplay, and thus, to all the gamers who love stealth gameplays and potentially new gamers who will be trying out the Metal Gear Solid franchise for the very first time, this is a game worth anticipating for sure. While there are no definite release date that are given, I guess we can safely assume it will only be made available as early as 2025. Moving on, we now have a new Silent Hill 2 boss fight gameplay by IGN. I may or may not also have watched through the intro gameplay on The Red Bread on YouTube, which is like 2 hours long. There is also a comparison gameplay that showcases the flash lip boss fight on PlayStation 2 versus the PlayStation 5, which we will provide a link down below. To be honest, I've not played any Silent Hill games throughout my gaming career, but I guess this would serve as a nice entry for a young blood like me, not knowing what to expect and just enjoy the ride throughout the game. Silent Hill 2 will be out on October 8th shortly after this video is released, so better mark your dates. Fragpunk is a 5 vs 5 shooter game, but with elements of upgrading in the name of cards. Yes, players will be given cards that can alter the way their characters play out, giving the game a much more dynamic gameplay with elements of fun, surprise, and randomness. This is an interesting approach towards the traditional 5 vs 5 shooter games that we have today, and if you're interested to get your hands on the closed beta on October 10th, you can register your interest on PC via Steam or Xbox Series X and Series S. Most importantly, this game supports crossplay. Well done, devs. One of the most anticipated game by me myself would be Metaphor ReFantasio that is coming out this month on October 11th, 2024 for the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC. This game gives out such a strong anime vibe that it is hard for me to resist, and it is really looking to be the most refined turn-based game from Atlas. Speaking from the combat gameplay perspective, with the game mixing up a good balance of hack and slash element with turn-based combat. At this point, I'm just a doo-doo for Atlas turn-based games. If it plays like an Atlas game, I will most likely buy it. I really hope this game will bring yet another great adventure to the player base who have high hopes on it, and if you haven't already tried out the prologue demo, the demo is now available on both the Xbox and PC, and yes, the demo save file does carry over to the main game. Now this is an interesting piece, a game called Slitherhead. Playing as the protagonist named Hyoki, you are motivated to eradicate all these monstrous creatures called Slitherheads. And the core mechanics of the game is inseparable from possession. The protagonist is essentially a spiritual living thing with no physical forms, and you can bounce around to borrow or to take form by possessing a human body in order to start acting around. Definitely a fresh and unique take in terms of gameplay in the action and adventure genre in a while, and Slitherhead is planned to release on November 8th, 2024 for the PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC. On the Capcom side, the biggest news would be the fact that we now have a confirmed release date for the upcoming Monster Hunter Wilds, with the game releasing on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and PC on February 28th, 2025. I can already see how this new entry will bring in new bloods into the series. I'm also interested to check out the dynamic weathers in this game, which will alter the weather and ecology of the game within the area, and players could use these changes to their advantage in battles. All in all, the hunting is what makes Monster Hunter fun, and there are lots of new bosses with unique mechanics of their own. And aside from the official overview trailer, we can expect more information to be revealed in the coming months on the new Monster Hunter Wilds. Coming to the shorter news, we have Tanuki Pond's Summer. Playing as a raccoon, you took up a job at the post office to deliver packages as you work to restore the shrine before the summer ends. Definitely heavily inspired by Japanese culture, and the game looks great in my opinion. No release date has been announced, but you can now wishlist the game on Steam. Threads of Time is a Japanese turn based RPG that is inspired by the timeless classics. While I'm not always at the forefront of JRPGs of this sort in general, this one in particular does look promising with stunning graphics, so let us keep an eye on it. With no release date being confirmed, you can still wishlist the game right now on Steam. Although I'm not into fighting games in general, Bleach is a known IP, and Bandai Namco has always been pushing out fighting games for their different IPs. Bleach Rebirth of Souls is their effort in pushing another 3D fighting game that is coming out in early 2025. Then, we also got to see a new gameplay trailer and adventure trailer for the upcoming Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Don't get me wrong, I love the Yakuza series, but boy are they pumping out games from this franchise like a machine. We are getting at least one new game every year now since the release of Like a Dragon Ishin back in 2023. The new Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii will be released on February 27th in 2025. Last on the list, Atelier Yumiya, The Alchemist of Memories and the Invasion Land is a new entry to the series. I've just started my Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and The Secret Hideout this year for a good 3 hours or so just to get an idea on what the game is about, and honestly, I would love to see some quality of life improvements when it comes to combat and the alchemy system. Aside from that, the protagonists are cute and lovable, nothing much to complain from a grown-up man like me, and Atelier Yumiya is on track to release on March 21st, 2025. Coming to the game releases of this week, Starfield Shattered Space DLC is now available on the Xbox Series X and Series S as well as PC. As much as I love the collector edition of this game, I have nothing to say about the gameplay of Starfield. But I'll tell you that I'm spending my time on TCG Card Shop Simulator. That game took most of my bedtime away for the past week. Then we have a new Sword Art Online game. It is Fractured Daydream, made available on October 4th for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I personally enjoy the animated series more than the video games. While not without its flaws, maybe this one will change my mind since I've been seeing a good share of positive reviews from different discussions and forums. Finally, the remake of Until Dawn is now available on the PlayStation 5 and PC. I've watched the entire gameplay of the game once, tried the PS4 version on the PlayStation 5 with backwards compatibility, and I have to say, even though I'm a PC guy, I still prefer to play this game on a controller. The only downside playing it on PC would be the fact that a PlayStation Network account is required. I mean, come on PlayStation. You can do better than this. As for the free games for this week on the Epic Games Store, you can claim yourself a copy of Bear and Breakfast. I don't see myself playing as a bear anytime soon, but it can be yours as long as you claim it by or before October 10. And that marks the end of this week's episode of Game Things. Consider giving this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful, subscribe and click on the bell so that you'll receive notifications whenever we have a new upload here on YouTube.